my name is Lauren Winscott, and today I will be presenting my informative speech. And today my audience is...
Hi, my name's Brock Struck, and I'm here to watch Lauren give a speech.
Thank you. Please have a seat. So, today I want to talk to you guys about the fundamentals of jewelry making. So, let me start out by just saying right now, there is so much that goes into making jewelry, especially when it comes to picking a specific style. You can choose a small bead, something that's very delicate and dainty and can go with almost any outfit, or you can choose a big statement bead that shines and that gets everyone's attention. Or you can go with something a little bit more simple, like a single band that doesn't really take much effort to make it all. All of these can be made with one thing, a simple piece of wire, and of course the tools to do that too as well. With every person who wants to create their own jewelry, they must practice and not be afraid to step outside of their comfort zone. They must have the patience to learn how to maneuver the wire around the spool. But if you start with the most basic wire designs, it can help you build up the capability to create a beautiful piece ready to sell. Let's take a look at the process of starting the basic ring making that the students will be trained to be able to do when making rings. So, today I'm going to be informing you just how to do that. So who am I? My name is Lauren, and I have been making my own rings for the past 11 years, and I have sold my rings to various businesses around town and some small shops in other states. Not all of them are big shops like that. Some even sell food, so I'm not making that much of an impact. So why do you guys want to learn a craft? Well, learning a craft, it can help you learn a lot about a business. It can teach you valuable lessons and helping you gain knowledge as you meet and do business with new people. The fundamentals of learning to sell handmade rings are coming up with your own design, creating your product, and then selling your product, okay? So to begin creating your wire ring, first a person must start by creating their own simple design, okay? And we want to stay simple. We don't want to start with anything too big because that is just, you're going to be let down, and we don't want to, you're not ready for that yet, okay? So we're going to start with something simple and something small, and then we're going to work our way up to something a little bit more complex. All artists must learn simple styles before they can move on to more intricate pieces. That's my rule number one. According to Beadaholic.com, to build up wire wrapping skills, start simple with the very basics, such as creating simple wire loops. After becoming familiar with your ring that you want to create, then the student can understand what intricate detail they want to put into their piece. Creating new and different designs is what helps an artist become better. For artists to be efficient in creating the right ring for them, they can practice creating new designs and new pieces. According to Beadaholics.com, the more you practice, the better your results will be as you get familiar with how wire acts and moves. This type of learning can help build a person's fine motor skills. Just as how when you bead a string through a bead wire through or bead a bead through string, that also will help you gain that knowledge too. Once a person has perfected their skill, okay, to the extent they're satisfied, then they can begin to specialize in more intricate pieces. It is very important that the student practices specializing in one particular product and not multiple, because this will allow you to perfect your design. So for instance, if you're creating something and you've only given it a week's worth of effort, let's say like 10 hours of your time, and it's not perfect, there's a reason it's not perfect yet, and it's because you haven't perfected that. You need to give it more time. It might even take you months to get that perfect. So find it and stick with it, okay? Being able to handle, sculpt, and maneuver the wire is very important. To create a ring that will be guaranteed to fit your customers, you must be able to hold the spool with one hand while maneuvering the wire with your other hand. The spool is what the students will use to size the ring correctly. To learn to place the stone or bead on the wire, the student must learn how to use their dominant hand to hold one part of the spool, while using the opposite hand to maneuver the wire and the bead around that spool. Both hands will be needed to place the wire and bead around the spool. You can make a small rings that start as little as size 1, and that's at the very top of the spool, or you can go as large as size 15, and that's going to be at the very bottom of it. You can make small rings and large rings. Your customers will prefer all of them. There are many different roads one can take when learning to master a skill, but for making rings, it is important that you choose a style that you love. By selling your goods on your preferred platform, either Etsy or even craft markets or shows, it's important that you create the ring that you love, because it's going to be something that you're going to be spending a lot of time on. You don't want to be spending time on something that you don't like at all. Your heart just wouldn't be in it. It is an expression of who you are. According to Thomas Opong of Medium.com, you have the ability to take nothing and turn it into something magical, something that adds value to another person's life, something that brings out the best in you. That's creativity. Your capacity to create and make a dent in the universe is beyond measure. Selling your products online or locally will give you two types of different communities. You can choose to sell in the Etsy community, and that will guarantee that you meet people all over the world, but you're not going to build a strong connection with your clients. More likely than not, you will not. Locally, craft shows or venues is a great way to meet people and get to know people and just to learn other ideas that other people have. And it's a great way to create long friendships. And it's a really good idea if you want to go there and just create and see other people's new ideas that you want to create yourself. So the main ideas that I had spoken with you guys today is how to come up with a design for your product, how to create it, and then how to sell that product. The fundamentals of learning to sell handmade rings are coming up with your own design, creating your product, and selling it. I have given you all the information that you need today to go design your new product. Now leave here today with a dream.